what's going on this week? We're still inundated with spooks and scares. It being October, the spookiest month of the year. I'm the D. That's enough. Daniel
Deceased?
Ehrenberg,
You were doing that one?
the deceased. That is great.
I'm good at that. I'm really
You
good
are
at that.
really good at that. Yeah. All right. I'm the deceased. Daniel Ehrenberg. The first time I heard the word deceased was in Beetlejuice. I never heard that word before. They have the handbook for the recently deceased. And I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck does that mean?
All right.
Yeah. It's a fun fact about my childhood. All right. Let me bring in our co-host today. We watched 3 Saw movies. We're all jigsawed out. Let's bring him in. Logan B. Oscar.
Yeah. Coming at you in 3D this week. Is that a thing? 3D audio?
Yeah, man. The third dimension of audio. It's like when you remember the 4D experience that you'd get at movie theaters?
Yeah, you ever done that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
For
I
what?
sat in a rumble seat once and I
For, like,
lost
Batman
my
v
baby,
Superman?
Logan. I had a miscarriage.
Oh, yeah. We saw that again.
What?
I said we saw that again.
What'd you see again? Oh, the
I
miscarriage.
thought you were referencing the miscarriage.
No, I was referencing that they had to stop doing the rumble seats because they were giving women miscarriages.
No.
Yes.
Oh, I did not know about that.
Yeah. It was horrifying. All right.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But yeah, I did do it once. I think it might have been for a Transformers movie. And
The Last Night?
no, I didn't. I only saw the first 2, so it would have been one of those.
They had
And
that back then?
maybe I don't remember what it was for. All right.
Is that even what the name of that movie was?
What?
Transformers: The Last Night?
That's one of them. Yeah, for sure.
That's the what's that guy's name?
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman. He's the star of all the Transformers
No,
movies.
Anthony Hopkins.
He's in
Yeah,
that one?
the Last Night. Yeah, Anthony Hopkins is in that one.
Does he play a Transformer or a human?
He plays Sir Edmund Burton. I assume that's a guy.
Who knows, man? That would be interesting if the Transformers started like assimilating to Earth society and start giving themselves normal names.
Stanley Tucci's also hanging around there.
I'm no longer Optimus Prime. I'm Dr. Stanley Primo.
John Turturro's still alive in that world?
He was in those first 2.
Yeah. Tony Hale they got?
God damn.
Yeah.
A lot of...
Stanley Tucci's in one of these Saw movies, right? There's one guy that looks like Stanley Tucci, kind of.
Who are you referring to?
It's the guy in Saw 5, one of the guys in the room that they kill. They beat over the head with that stick.
I didn't notice.
Oh, really?
That guy looked like Stanley Tucci to you?
I thought so. I always thought so.
All right. Let's get into it. There's 3 Saws to get to, Logan. That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Because, I mean, there's so many Saws. Next week, we got Jigsaw and... What's the other one? Spiral, the Book of Saw, which is the one...
It's just called Spiral.
No, Book of Saw. Can I tell you something I discovered this week that makes me even more confused about the state of the Saw franchise?
Yes.
This is from the Wikipedia for Saw 3D, okay?
Yep.
Just because this is a quote from Darren Lynn Bousman, okay?
Wow,
the great Darren Lynn Bousman. Yeah, he's still working as a producer. Just because we made Spiral doesn't mean Saw ceases to exist. Just because Spiral is here, that doesn't mean there won't be a Saw 9. Spiral is not the 9th film in the Saw franchise. There easily could be a Saw 9 that follows Jigsaw. I think they're waiting to see how Spiral goes and how audiences respond to determine what happens next. Then in May 2021, Bousman confirmed that Saw 9 and Saw 10 were separate projects from Spiral 2 and 3 and Jigsaw 2. What the fuck is going on?
Are they making... What number are they on? 9?
Okay,
so this will be Saw 10.
There are 9 Saw movies, including Spiral. But what they're now saying is that Spiral is a Saw movie, but also isn't a Saw movie. I guess it takes place in the Saw cinematic universe, but it's not in Saw series Prime. So now they're talking about making a Saw 9 as well as a Spiral 2, but also he's hinting they could sequelize that movie Jigsaw, which is Saw 8, and do Jigsaw 2. But then wouldn't that make Saw 9 Saw 8?
Yes. No. It would make Saw 10 Saw 9
But Saw 9,
is Spiral.
but then Jigsaw is Saw 8. If Jigsaw is now its own thing, then there is no Saw 8.
Right.
I hate this shit. Why did I start this podcast?
Isn't this as confusing as Halloween though?
This is I if they actually do that, like sprout Saw into 3 separate franchises, I think it makes it the most confusing horror franchise. All right, so let's take a step back, Logan. We're talking about the future of the Saw franchise. Let's go back in time to 2008 when we're still putting out the original series of Saw. Saw 5 was released around Halloween time that year.
Yeah, you're getting way ahead of yourself actually, because we've only talked about 4 of these, and there are 9 of them. Like we're not even halfway through.
Yeah, bro, I'm fascinated by this franchise. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I feel
Are you enjoying yourself way more than you thought you would?
I hate the gore. Anytime the gore gets too much, I'm like, fuck this. But like,
Yeah, like the one with the teeth, having to go in that woman's mouth to get the teeth.
that
one, I
the
don't like that.
pendulum at the beginning
you
of
don't like that one?
I hated that.
Okay.
Fuck that shit.
He deserved it though. He murdered Hoffman's sister.
Yeah, right? It was like her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Right. All right. I guess it'd have to be an ex because she's dead.
Well, I think it was boyfriend at the time. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Boyfriend till time of death.
Right. Till death do us part.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes that's how it works out, even when you're not married. All right. So Saw 5. No, I am enjoying myself though, and I do still feel that there's a meta game at work here, Logan. And I think I've gathered new info about the cult this week.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but that's
Yeah.
not until the last movie, right?
No, throughout.
Oh, okay.
Jigsaw has a cult, or he's part of a cult. I hope we get into it in Jigsaw and Spiral, the Book of Saw, and we'll find out.
I think it's from the Book of Saw, but also I think it's just Spiral.
Well, I like the inanity of this franchise, so I'm gonna keep saying it. It's like how I always say Birdman or the
Unexpected virtue of ignorance.
Thank you, Jesus! I brain farted for a second on that one.
I got you.
Yeah, is there a better word for brain fart? Because sometimes I'm having a conversation with like a smart adult, and I want to say the word brain fart, but I also don't want to say the word fart.
Brain freeze? No, is that only when you
I
drink
feel like
something
that's
cold?
that's an ice cream thing.
Yeah, but it also could be like your brain froze, you forgot what you were saying, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Someone let me know. All right, put in the comments. All right, Saw 5. We have a new director, Logan. Bousman's done. He did 3 and he left.
Till Spiral, I think.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. So our new guy is David Hackle, and I love this name. It sounds like a fake Simpsons Halloween name because it's got Hack right there.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Right? Like if this dude's name was David Backle and he worked on The Simpsons, they'd probably change it to David Hackle.
Yeah, right.
Or even David Cackle, like a witch does.
Ooh, I like that, yeah.
Thank you. All right, and he has worked on this franchise before. Do you know that?
What do you do?
He's actually Darren Lynn Bousman's production designer.
Wow, so they gave him the keys to the...
Yeah, so he's the one who gathers up all the shit and smears it on the walls of every set of this franchise to make it look disgusting.
All right, so he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he does know what he's doing, my friend. And I gotta say, I liked Hackle. Hackle's replaced in the next movie by a guy who's with us for 6 and 7. I think Hackle's got the better hand.
Wow, you know who Hackle always reminded me of with all these directors? He reminded me of Mike Newell. Do you remember him?
The dude who directed Four Weddings and a Funeral,
I don't know, but he did Harry Potter
Goblet of Fire.
Goblet of Fire. He's like the
Yeah.
anonymous Goblet of Fire guy, the Harry Potter guy. So and this guy's like the anonymous Saw guy. He just comes in, does one of them, then leaves.
Yeah, and he was supposed to do more, man. There's interesting stuff about that.
Can I tell you what else he did?
Yeah, what?
There's a little film out there starring Thomas Jane, James Marsden, and a bear. Into the Grizzly Maze, and this guy directed that movie.
Yeah, have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
I've always been curious. Did we talk about this last week?
We talked about it on what did we talk about that on?
Hey, I'm
watching
the paywall.
Whenever we did
right.
Grizzly
I'm just saying, Into the Grizzly Maze. I've always been curious whether it's someone trapped in a maze with grizzly bears in it, or if the maze itself is made, or if they're just saying like in a forest that because there are so many grizzly bears, it's sort of like a maze. I would want the former. Like the latter would just be a survival horror thing. I want some sort of a futuristic world where someone's trapped in a maze, like a Maze Runner movie where he's getting attacked by bears.
Do you think you got this idea for this movie because of the maze part in Goblet of Fire?
You know, this
I can make a whole movie.
You know, this isn't actually Mike Newell.
Oh, right. What? Oh, we're talking about David Hackle right now. Oh my god!
What you just have a fucking brain freeze.
That's funny.
All right, so Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunstan, they're
still
back to
around.
write. They're gonna be with us for the run of it, man.
Right.
I mean, till 7.
They're the heart of the franchise, really.
I think you're right. And they're pulling it off. I gotta say,
Yeah.
5, 6, and 7 are not bereft of ideas. They don't have a lot of ideas, but a few of them are good.
You can tell that they've watched the movies constantly and just always write down ideas about, we can bring this back, we can bring this back, we can bring this back. You like when I watch these, I can just tell. Like I get in the mind of these guys. Like it's so funny.
I saw an interview where they said that the plot for Saw 7 was crammed together from 2 different ideas they had for Saw sequels. And so I started thinking that they must have like a binder just full of Saw sequel ideas.
Absolutely. You're 100% right.
Yeah. These fucking legends.
I'm a done stan, I have to say.
Very good. All right. So October 24th, 2008. That was the release date. It had a $10.8 million budget, and it made $113.9 million. You'll notice that these box office grosses are dropping precipitously from film to film.
Yeah, I have a stat. This one's 25 million less than 4, and 4 is 25 million less than 3.
Yeah, and it's going to keep going down. Until 7, it fucking pops back up because they promoted it as the final one, and also because of 3D shit, I think.
Yep.
Oh, and also, weren't like 3D tickets more expensive, and that made those movies make more?
Yeah.
That was a thing at the time. That's why they wanted to make...
right?
Yeah, but that's why they wanted to make everything 3D. They were really trying to push that because it's like a way to make
movies more
expensive.
What was the last 3D movie you saw?
Holy shit, dude. It's been years. I mean, like, Coraline.
Wow, like 2009 or whatever?
Yeah, like a real... Like, I mean, when did Avatar come out?
2009.
Yeah, I saw like Up. I saw a few things in 3D that
also.
year. My Bloody Valentine 3D.
Okay.
I haven't seen like anything since those. Because I hate it. I avoid it like the plague.
When I worked at the movie theater, I would go in my breaks and watch the Emoji Movie in 3D because I thought that looked pretty cool. But that's the last thing I can remember from the last 10 years also.
Yeah, man. I remember there was one Marvel movie where a friend of mine wanted to go, but the timing worked out so that the 3D one was the only one available, and I just didn't go hang out with my friend.
Yeah, I understand. Also, we wear glasses, right? So when you have to wear those 3D glasses over your glasses, that's a real pain.
Dude, people don't think about that don't have glasses. It's a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like 50% of people have glasses, motherfuckers. Like you're
What's the alternative? What should they do then?
There's nothing to do. I mean, if 3D got so huge, they could start making
3D
glasses
screens
with 3D capabilities.
It's the screens that do it. You don't need any glasses.
Yeah, you'd have to do it. Yeah, but like the glasses thing doesn't work out. It's glasses over glasses. It feels like shit for 2 hours.
Also, it's kind of like even harder. Like the paper ones would actually be easier, right? But now that it's like real glasses on glasses.
Yeah,
like
yeah, right. It's true. Yeah, they tried to make them sleeker and cooler, and I'm like, fuck this.
This is just like an extra pair of glasses.
Yeah,
yeah.
All right. So this movie came in at number 54 at the North American box office, sandwiched between Step Up 2: The Streets and The Strangers.
Ooh.
A horror film that's probably far better remembered than Saw 5.
Yeah.
This was nominated for 1 award, Logan, and I am very happy to report to you that it is an MTV Movie Award.
I want my MTV.
Okay, this one is great.
Really?
Yeah, do you know what the...
I thought you meant my performance.
Oh, your performance was great too, but
okay.
This nomination is spectacular. Do you have any guess what this could be nominated for?
Best pen in the throat.
No, it's not best pen in the throat, although it probably was the best pen in the throat of that year.
Yeah.
The nominee...
Best Betsy Russell performance?
No. Best fight, Logan.
Ooh, Hoffman Strom at the end?
No.
What? Really?
Yeah, no. Fight. How about the fight between Chainsaw Guy and Lady? Or Chainsaw Lady and Guy?
Chainsaw Lady and Guy.
Bro, there's like a character named like Betsy. It's the insurance guy and Betsy, and it's like you have to cut the key out of your body, or you know what I mean?
No.
Oh my god, there's
Betsy?
a key. There's a key sewn into the insurance adjuster's.
That's the 6th movie.
What?
The insurance guy is in the 6th movie.
Oh yeah.
This is Saw 5.
Oh my god. Shit, I must have gotten this wrong.
Spoilers.
It must have been the Strom shit.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Bullshit. The fight in 5 in 6 is better.
You thought that was it?
Yeah, I thought that's what it was.
No, this must be Strom versus Hoffman at the very end where he gets in that box.
Holy
They brawl
shit.
for a second.
Man, all right. That's not a very good fight.
It's pretty good. I didn't even remember the other one you're talking about.
Frank, well, that I'll always remember, and it's shot in this
chainsaw
fight? Piss yellow light. Yeah, isn't there a... Could we pause just for a second?
Yeah, you gotta look up a chainsaw fight?
I feel like I'm going crazy.
Yeah, we can pause for a second. I'm gonna look up chainsaw fight Saw 6. Right?
I'm looking up Saw 5 and seeing if I can remember it there.
Well, the insurance guy's in Saw 6, so...
Right, 5's the one where they're all down there. Oh, it is 6. God damn it. It is 6. I'm so sorry. That was a real brain fog.
Brain fog?
I tried it. I don't like fart. I don't like the word fart. We don't like it in my family either. Can I tell you a story about my sister?
Yes.
Okay. When she was a kid, have we talked? I think I might have told this on the show before.
This doesn't ring any bells.
When my sister was a kid, we used to call farts in my family Fatsi Matsis.
Why?
That was just like a nicer way of saying fart. So like if someone farted, you'd say, "Oh, you did a Fatsi Matsi."
Yeah.
Yeah. So then my sister's in elementary school, bro. It's like 6th grade or something. And someone in class ripped a fart and everyone's laughing. And my sister goes, "Ha ha ha, you just fucking Fatsi Matsi'd." And then all the laughter just turned on her.
Oh my God.
It was amazing. I wasn't there, but I've heard the story a million times. And it's literally my favorite story about my sister.
Did she stop saying it after that?
Yeah, of course.
Just the end of it.
And it's still to this day, like if you say Fazi Mazi around her, she looks like she's experiencing something.
Yeah, I get it. Don't teach your children Fazi Mazi.
Don't, man. Just tell them fart.
Yeah.
And maybe
it's
that's
gross,
teaching me something today. Maybe I gotta just say brain fart.
Is there another word for fart? There's gotta be.
Toot.
I hate that too. It's even worse.
Yeah, I don't like it either. All right.
Poot, isn't that the same thing?
Poot, it makes you think of poop though.
Yeah.
Like I would think poot is like a shart.
All right, that's Saw 5.
All right, Saw 5, back to it. So this film, I forgot to tell you what won Best Fight. What defeated Saw 5.
What won? Okay.
Yeah, the winner was a fight that we've commentated upon, Logan. On patreon.com/thefranchise, we did a feature-length commentary on the first Twilight movie and the great fight at the end between that guy and Robbie P.
Okay, that's fun.
Okay, so Saw 5. It opens, and I'm already excited because it's looking a little less green. Bousman's gone, and with him have gone the filters. But don't worry.
But then you get that pendulum trap, and you're out again.
Yeah, but you know what? I liked the pendulum trap at first. Like, it was scary. Like, when the pendulum was swinging above him. Like, that was fucked up and weird. But then it just started cutting him in the belly. And I feel like that's something we get into in these later Saw movies. We love cutting into midsections in these movies. What about that hot Asian girl in that outside trap in Saw 7?
Oh, right, when those boyfriends kill her?
Yeah,
that's like the same thing. You're right about that.
We're just bisecting people in these movies now.
Yeah. Hey, that's what you do. You Saw 5.
Yeah. So at the beginning of this movie, we're still in fucking Saw 3. Like, Saw 3 goes on forever.
Saw 3 is Saw 4 also.
Saw 3 is Saw 4. Yeah, Saw 4 is just Saw 3 from a different perspective. But then, like, the first 20 minutes...
Saw 4 is Lion King 1.5.
It is. It is. 100%.
Right.
So really... There's not even a Saw 4. There's not a Saw 4. There's not a Saw 8. Should they go back and make those?
That's way too convoluted.
All right. But Saw 5, the first 20 minutes of it, we're still in Saw 3.
Right.
So insane. We meet up with Luke Danes, of course, the proprietor of Luke's Diner from Stars Hollow. And he is now... in a jigsaw trap. And this jigsaw trap is just the Radiohead music video for No Surprises from the OK Computer album. All right, I don't know if you've seen this video,
nope.
But all it is a close-up of Tom York's head in a fishbowl that is filling up with water slowly.
Wow, so it's like the exact same thing?
It's exactly the same thing. Like, I literally think, like, these fucking Saw writers... like caught a Radiohead video one day and they're like, that'd be good for a jigsaw trap.
Was he singing completely underwater at the end of the video?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
And I watched a documentary about Radiohead and they showed the making of the video and it was fucked up and Tom York seemed miserable. But he always seems miserable, so that's okay.
He is a creep.
And a weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he gets out of it in a very unique way, something that Tommy Boy did not think of. He stabs himself in the neck with an open... How does he get that pen open? He, like, uncorks that pen somehow.
I don't know.
It's incredible work. Like,
screws it open.
Very dexterous fingers on Luke. Lorelai must be a very happy woman. And
it didn't really make much sense, though, because he looks over and sees, like, his gun and his, like, handcuffs and all his shit on like a table, so like Hoffman emptied his pockets, but he left a pen in his pocket for some reason to help him escape.
Oh yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, it didn't make much
what
sense.
A dum-dum.
Yeah.
Maybe it was in his back pocket.
No, I watched it.
You noticed it?
It's like his left front pocket, I think.
Yeah, get it together, Hoffman. Hoffman really is a shitty Jigsaw. Can I just say, Hoffman is the downfall of this franchise. These movies would be way better with literally anyone else's Jigsaw.
Oh, so you don't like Hoffman?
I fucking hate Hoffman. I think I'm going to make him my LVP for all 3 movies.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
I mean, at least 2 of them.
Not the last one.
Yeah, I know. I have a different one in mind.
Yeah, you have to have a different one in mind for that one.
Wait, you said, can you just tell me, you said on Letterboxd that the 7th movie has one of the worst performances you've ever seen?
Yeah.
I don't think any performance in that movie stood out to me as being one of the worst performances.
What about
I've
the
ever
new
seen.
cop guy? The guy from Final Destination? He played Todd in Final Destination.
Yeah.
You don't think he was absolutely horrendous in the movie?
I did not have a problem with that character.
All right, I'm gonna play. We're not even in Saw 7 right now. I'm gonna play a whole scene from Saw 7 right now.
Can you please?
That was left for me, and your fingerprints were all over it. When you told me Hoffman had it in for you, you didn't mention that it was because you tried to kill him. There's a new game going on. Does that surprise you?
No.
No. You're crazy. You know that? I knew you were crazy the minute I laid eyes on you. Crazy. Okay. This is what we're gonna do. Crazy. Till I catch Mark Hoffman, this is your new home. Get comfy.
What makes you think you can't find me here?
Jill, it's a safe house. Safe house. Safe house. You get it?
Yeah. And the best thing is that the second after that scene, he walks out of the safe house and gets a call, and it's like, Jigsaw knows where the safe house is.
It's hilarious.
It's so good.
He dies in an awesome way too. How they machine gun him, I was like so happy.
Yeah, it's good to see him die. That's what you gotta do in these movies. Give me characters I want to see die.
That's true.
Yeah. So Luke gets out of the trap with his cute little pen trick, and all right, and so he escapes, and then we finally get out of Saw 3. Finally. All right.
Well, we get resolution to something that we talked about last week. Where
tell me.
So Hoffman escapes. He thinks he's the only one that escaped, and who does he come out with?
A little girl.
The little girl, Jeff and Lynn's daughter. That we thought, oh, maybe she'd be in there forever.
Oh yeah.
But this was right after Saw 3 and Saw 4.
So I didn't even think, like, who the fuck was that little girl?
Yeah, that was their daughter, so she did live.
All right, wait. So Jeff and Lynn, they're the couple.
They're dead
from Saw 3.
Yes.
Okay, so 2 movies later, we're getting the info that their daughter is okay.
Yep.
I mean, she's got to be a fucking Jigsaw apprentice later on, or a cop fighting Jigsaw.
She is an orphan. What do you think she would have landed on my orphan ranking list that I made back in the day?
Well, I don't think she would have done particularly well. I mean, she's a pretty random character, but I'm sure you would have seen her fit to be on the list.
Probably like between some of the Despicable Me girls. Between like Miranda Cosgrove and the second Despicable Me girl.
Oh my god. All right, so we also get some more posthumous Jigsaw action. All right, from our old friend Tobin Bell.
Yeah.
And we get his wife, Betsy Russell, your favorite actress.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's stacked. She goes in to see Jigsaw's lawyer. I love that Jigsaw has a lawyer.
Yeah.
Do you think he knew he was Jigsaw?
Yes.
You do?
Right?
I don't know.
Wouldn't you tell your lawyer everything?
But that seems so crazy to me that there could be a lawyer out there that's just like, yeah, I mean, my one of my best clients, he does like traps. I wish he would stop doing the traps. It's very monetarily unforgiving for him.
That's like Melfi, kind of.
Who's Melfi?
Like, she's Tony's therapist. Like, she knows all that shit, but she can't really say anything about that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But I mean, Tony is.
He doesn't talk about that, actually, does he? He doesn't really go into all that stuff.
No, he doesn't. He says that he's
garbage.
He works in construction, yeah, and he just sort of talks about mafia problems and clouds them under the guise of construction problems.
Right, in metaphor, right?
That's yeah. So Jigsaw has performed a video for his wife before his passing.
Right.
And in the video, he is wearing his robe. I want to say that.
Oh, was he? I didn't even notice.
He was. So that's crucial. The robe is back, and
I think he was buried in it.
I believe that he was.
Yeah.
Who do you think buried him?
Amanda.
I think the
she came
cult.
back.
No, I think there was like a ceremony with the cult.
Yeah. Well, I hate to like fast forward all the way to Saw 7, but we do see 3 different guys in pig masks at the end of Saw 7. So you might be onto something about the whole cult thing.
I'm telling you, and one of them's fucking Carrie Elwes. So who knows who the other 2 are?
Yeah, Carrie Elwes, MVP.
Yeah, I wrote that down.
Just kidding. Betsy Russell's in it.
Get out of town. So in the robe video, he says to his wife, "I'm long gone from this world now." That's a bad Jigsaw, but
it's horrible. That was terrible. Yeah.
First of all, I don't know. I made my voice higher pitched. His voice is much lower,
and he like really takes it.
Oh, hang on.
All.
I'm long gone from this world. Is that any better?
You sound like too jovial, kind of.
Well, I am jovial. I'm a jovial guy, Logan. Everyone knows
you're probably the most jovial guy I know featuring.
But that line stuck with me, Logan. I'm long gone from this world now.
Oh.
So I think that Jigsaw did not die. I think that he ascended to a higher plane. One that the rest of the cult all hopes to achieve.
Never crossed my mind.
But have you seen Spiral?
Yes.
From the Book of Saw?
Yes.
Do they touch on that?
I'm not gonna spoil anything. That's why I hate like.
But you said it never occurred to you. Did it never occur to you until it happened?
I'm telling you, like that line never like I never clicked with me.
I think it's a crucial line in the franchise. Okay, we get a great policeman's funeral with classic photo bombs.
Yes, I had the photo bombs written down. Yeah.
Do you have the photo bomb theme?
Not with me, but yeah.
Photo bomb, cause they couldn't get the yappers, cause they couldn't afford them, cause get on the photo bomb.
And I want to say, this is like probably the most photo bombs ever in a movie ever. Like we
It's
get all
crazy
5 dead cops
because they pan over from Ken Lung to Danny Glover, okay, and then they cut to somebody in the audience, and I was like, oh man, photo bombs, that was great. But then we cut back to the pan over and see both Dina Meyer and Donnie Wahlberg.
And Detective Rigg.
That's right.
We saw 5 photo bombs.
Quintuple photo bombs.
I'm not sure if there have been 5 in the history of the franchise.
No, that shit is epic, man.
Yeah,
I felt like
awesome.
I was looking at that, that picture from The Shining, and you like see.
Yeah.
All right. So we get some more info about Hoffman's motivations. His sister, we said this already, but his sister was murdered by her boyfriend, and her boyfriend was Pendulum Guy from the beginning of the movie. This is very crucial. And around this time in the movie, something else about Hoffman becomes clear to me, Logan.
What?
He too has a robe.
Okay.
Did you notice this?
No.
But
I'm bad at noticing the robes.
He wore a robe in this film, and it did not have the red trim of Jigsaw's robe.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the robe signifies something, and the red trim.
It's like the black belt.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Or like that means he's like the vanguard in the NXIVM cult.
Right.
Yeah. Oh shit, The Vow premiered. I gotta watch that.
What?
The new the season 2 of The Vow, the NXIVM cult documentary.
Oh.
The first episode premiered on HBO last night. I gotta watch that.
The Vow? Channing Tatum and Rachel McAdams?
No, but I think I know the twist at the end of it.
There's a twist? No, you're thinking of Safe Haven.
Probably. Oh, I totally am thinking Safe Haven.
Well, that was a complete shot in the dark. I know.
Yeah, no, that's totally what I'm thinking. Because it's another Nicholas Sparks thing.
Yeah, it's Rachel McAdams.
Yeah.
But that's hot. But that's a hot film.
Anything with McAdams is hot, man. If I met McAdams, no, not if I met her, that would be creepy. But if I was ever in a relationship with McAdams, first thing I'd do kiss that little mole.
Oh. But you don't like About Time, and that's like the cutest she ever was. I
Fuck that movie. No, that's not the cutest she ever was Wedding Crashers.
Yeah, it's hard to beat Wedding Crashers. You're right. That football scene, she's running around. That
holy shit! Yeah, you fall in love with that girl.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, back to Saw 5. What else we got in this movie, bro?
Well, people are in a trap. There's like the whole Saw 2 trap again, where people are together.
Yeah, there's a problem with these later Saw movies. Another one that I've got an issue.
Yep.
Because they feel the need to do a Saw trap story in every movie.
And there's only two ways they go about it. There's either like the Saw 2, Saw 5 method where a bunch of people are together, or there's like the Saw 3, Saw 4, Saw 6, Saw 7 method where it's like one person going through different stages. Like they really repeat the same thing.
Yeah.
Saw 1 is the only different one.
And sometimes, but you know what? Even Saw 2 had a thing where like the trap storyline met the police storyline at the end of the movie. You know what I mean? Like they connected in an interesting
You still
way.
like Saw 4 more than
that
Saw 2?
That happened with Saw 3 too. Did I say that last week that I like 4 more than 2?
Yeah.
No, I like 2 more.
Okay.
It's not a 2 more. I was just excited about 4. I have a ranking of the first 7.
No, don't say it though.
Yeah, I won't. But 2 is ahead of 4.
Okay.
They're actually, and there's 1 between them.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Probably 6. You seemed high on 6 earlier.
You might be right. Okay. So, what was I talking about? Oh, right. So the trap storyline. I just think that they are clearly not interested in the trap storyline. Like the story that the writers and the director of Saw 5 want to be telling is the fucking boring story of like cat and mouse between Hoffman and Jigsaw's wife and shit. Right. And like and so like I want to cut back to the trap storyline, but they're so disinterested in that when we leave that trap storyline, I like forget it's there.
Well, 6 and 7 is really Jill versus Hoffman. 5 is really Strom, like seeing the flashbacks of Saws 1, 2, and 3.
Hoffman. Right. That's I meant Strom versus Hoffman.
Right. But it is sort of repetitive where it's Strom versus Hoffman, then it's just like other cop versus Hoffman, then it's just like Jill versus Hoffman.
Well, they just keep replacing the cops. Like the cops are terrible in this town. It would be so easy to catch Jigsaw at this point. Hoffman sucks compared to, Tobin Bell.
And it's like the most franchisiest franchise. There's like shitty cops. There's photo bombs all over the place. Yeah. They go back to the first one all the time. It's like perfect for this show, I feel like.
No, it really is. It's crazy that we haven't done it before. It's just that Henry and I had never really watched past the first one.
Right.
Yeah. So in the trap, we've got a whole cast of fun characters from around this period.
Yeah. Who?
Like Megan Good from Eve's Bayou.
She's the only one that I know, really.
What do you mean? What about the great Julie Benz, my MVP from Rambo 4?
Who is she in Rambo 4?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna... bitch!
She might be the LVP of this movie.
No!
She's pretty bad in this movie.
Dude, she was my MVP in that and your LVP, and I think it might happen again.
Who was she in that?
Dude, she was Rambo's lady. Don't you remember he like they went on a little riverboat into to rescue some Christian missionaries, but there was like one cute Christian lady that Rambo trusted, and he was like, "I'll only talk to her."
Yeah, I do remember that.
It was her.
Wow. Julie
Benz, Darla from Buffy.
All right. So she's great. Who else? You didn't remember that Stanley Tucci guy?
No, who do you mean? Stanley Tucci?
He looked like he was like bald. He had a beard. He looked like Stanley Tucci.
I did not think he looked like Stanley Tucci at all. He's the one who dies like first, right?
A second. There's like a blonde that gets decapitated.
Right. I mean, who cares about her? She dies instantly.
Right.
But this dude, like, I liked him. I was hoping he'd stick around because he was like outspoken. He's kind of being an asshole.
Yeah, he's like the Frankie G. He's like the opposition of the group, kind of.
Yeah. I feel like they really wanted us to like this other guy.
The addict?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he shows back up in Saw 7. you notice him?
Did it? No, I didn't.
He's at the they show a few people from previous movies that are at that meeting, that Jigsaw meeting,
Oh,
recovery
wow.
meeting.
Yeah, that's
He's one of them.
Oh, he's having a tough time.
But Julie Benz I didn't see, so maybe she died in that trap and he lived. Or maybe she just isn't lame enough to go to the meeting. I don't know.
I think Julie Benz got over it, bro. She moved to Vietnam, hooked up with a big boy.
Yeah.
Now
Big boy like Julie Benz.
Yeah. Now they're fucking in one of his tunnels down in the Southwest. Oh, Rambo is great. That was another
that
great
like sex trafficking one? The one with the tunnels?
No, the one with the tunnels was the sex trafficking one. Yeah. Rambo Last Blood.
Right.
I don't like the motivations for Jigsaw's kidnappings in this. I hate Hoffman. And I mean, they're both bad, though. Like, Jigsaw was the same way. They're just such prudes and scolds. One of the guys in this movie is kidnapped because he's, like, put in a trap because he tried to kill himself.
Well, a few people are like that, yeah. I mean, most of these people are put in there because they cut themselves. But one guy is, like, a drunk, and he gets put in a trap.
Why would you torture somebody that wants to kill themselves? Like, I would just, like, kill myself in the trap.
Yeah. Which one is it where we go back to I think it's this one where Strom's like, how did they get you? And he's thinking about that big guy from the razor wire thing. He's like, you're so big, how did they get you? And it goes back and we see John and Hoffman having to battle him.
I'm so gonna get you.
Yeah.
Another Rambo riff. There was another quote I wrote down hinting at the cult.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who said this, Hoffman or Jigsaw in a video, but they say they're talking about the plot of Jigsaw, like kidnapping people and making them, believe that their lives could be good. He says, this is part of something larger. Everyone is connected. All right. He's saying that about the Jigsaw trap in this movie.
Yeah.
So, like, how is everyone connected?
I think that meant like they've all burned that building down and like covered it up.
Oh, you don't think it meant like the cult?
It could.
I might be reading into that.
Every line you're like thinking back to the cult.
Well, I think I'm right most of the time, but I might be off on that one.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, the movie ends with Luke from Gilmore Girls. He gets framed by Hoffman, so everyone thinks that he's the killer. And then Hoffman catches him in a trap. And I gotta say, this was pretty baller.
Yeah, of course.
Like, Luke getting crushed, I'm not into because I love Luke. I want him to survive. And also, it doesn't make sense that his fucking hand survived for fingerprints in the next movie. But I love he gets into this thing and Luke's like, I got you, motherfucker. You're in the trap. But then the trap descends beneath the ground. It was like watching the escape of like Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget or like Shredder or something.
Were you sad?
What do you mean?
That he was dead, Gilmore Girls?
No, because I feel like these movies can't sustain a protagonist for longer than like 2 or 3 movies. And so, like, it was probably time for him to either be killed off or, like, put out to pasture. And clearly, like, we're not ending this franchise anytime soon. So why not kill him?
It's sort of like a reveal where we see Hoffman and John Kramer meeting. And we, like, because when you're watching the movie, you think the pendulum thing is just, like, happening naturally. Like, that's just, like, the next trap that he made. But then we learn, like, that he made that to kill the boyfriend to then frame Jigsaw. So that's like in the past, and that's like why he meets Hoffman, right?
Well, I thought that Hoffman was copycatting Jigsaw.
And
then Jigsaw wanted to meet him.
Yes.
I read that right?
Yes, but like when you're watching the movie, as the movie goes on, you think you're like, that's just happening normally, but then you realize that's actually in the past.
No, I knew that the whole time.
Oh, you didn't know that the whole time? Oh,
okay. I didn't know that I was supposed to think it was in the present day.
Maybe I was just watching it differently this time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. So that's basically Saw 5.
Yeah, that's basically Saw 5.
That's basically Saw 5.
I mean, there's like the whole twist where like they were all supposed to work together.
Oh yeah, it was okay. Like the construction of the trap was like slightly compelling, but like it just seemed like they had such disinterest in it.
You never give a shit about any of these people at all.
No, not at all. Like
I mean, you never care about anybody really, but especially these people. Like I was like, I forgot about them.
Any interest I had in any of them was just like, hey, look, it's making good.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so, like it felt to me like the movie was happening where Hoffman was. Like that was the movie I was watching, and everything else was a distraction.
Yeah, I agree with you. I give it 2 stars though.
I also give it 2 stars.
Yeah. My MVP is Tobin Bell. He knows I'm fucking Jigsaw. This is the 5th movie. I'm here to play.
Shit, I'm so excited to talk about that backwards cap in the 7th one. I've seen that picture before, but
Tim sent that when we started.
I didn't know the context, man. Like that was wild.
That's legendary.
Oh, all right. But my MVP for this one, Julie Benz.
No way. That's my MVP. I thought she was really bad.
Fuck off. My LVP is Hoffman.
Really? Is he gonna be your LVP really for all of these?
No, 2 of them.
Have you seen him in anything else, that guy?
I gotta say, if I have no memory of it. Like, he's such a non-entity on screen. Costas Mandylor, his name is.
Yeah, I just know him as Hoffman.
Do you think his family calls themselves Mandalorians?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, I'm looking at his IMDb right now. It seems like he does a lot of straight-to-video shit, a lot of small roles in episodic television. I have no idea how he got such an important role in this franchise, unless when they cast the role of Hoffman, they didn't yet know that he was going to be Jigsaw. If they only cast him to be a random cop and they were like, oh, it makes the most sense if he's Jigsaw.
Right. He is, by the way, I didn't even notice this really until we were watching these for the franchise, but the first one he's really in, I think, is Saw 4?
He pops up in 3.
Yeah, but he's barely in 3, right? Like you see.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, did he just get cast for a 2-line role in Saw 3, and then they made him Jigsaw of necessity because he was the only cop who wasn't dead anymore.
Yes, I think that's what the writers do. That's why I think they just watch these movies constantly. Like, oh, that's a guy. We can do something with that person.
But this was not the way to go. I understand they want the pop of people going back to Saw 3 and going like, oh, look, there's Hoffman. But I honestly think this guy is uncharismatic enough that if he's going to be your killer for multiple entries in this franchise, you need to replace him with a more dynamic actor. You have to, because this franchise needs, it's Robert Englund, which was Tobin Bell. And they could find another one. I'm not opposed to replacing Tobin Bell, but it can't be this guy. This guy's nothing.
I never really disliked Hoffman. I got to be honest.
No, I'm telling you, Hoffman killed this franchise. They would have made from 2011 to 2020. You would have had a Saw every year if there was no Hoffman. Let's talk about Saw 6, the creme de la creme of late Saw.
Yeah, I think most people agree with that. Actually,
is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Let's discuss our new director, Kevin Greutert.
Yeah. That's pretty right.
You familiar with this fella?
Yeah, from Saw.
Yeah, see, we're in the late Saw era where we don't want fresh artistic hands on this franchise. It wants to be a producer-driven franchise, and we're just going to hire from within the house guys that can do the job. So in the last movie, we got Darren Lynn Bousman's production designer, and now we have the guy who's edited all the Saw movies.
Yeah. Does a great job.
All right. I will say the one knock on this guy, I'm not a big fan. He seems like a sweet guy. I got nothing against him. But he is much worse, I think, than David Hackle, who did Saw 5. That movie looks better than these 2 movies. And one of the reasons is that Kevin Greutert was like, Hackle, why'd you take away those color filters? Let's get them filters back going.
Yeah, that's what he knows. That's what he loves.
He also is
He also edited The Strangers, by the way.
Yeah, good for him. That's a well-edited movie.
Yeah.
He also likes
Jigsaw. He's back for that one.
Oh my god. I'm looking forward to it. Great editor. This is also one of the grossest movies in the franchise. I think maybe the grossest. And I question whether, as an editor, it's because he is desensitized.
I don't think that's that true.
I do. Do you think it could be because he's desensitized from having spent so many hours in an editing room looking at footage of Saw movies?
I'm looking at these traps. These are not very gruesome traps.
Listen, I've got some. My first note is this one is just gross.
Well, that's maybe because it starts out where they're just like cutting their arms off.
Oh, yeah, that's why. That opening trap's disgusting.
But that's it.
She chops the dude. I mean, the one woman chopping her arm off his back. So, the opening trap of this movie, they've got to like cut the most weight off their bodies. It's like
I listened carefully actually to the way he words it. He says, "You must cut the most flesh off," and like I think the guy should have won. The guy cuts a bunch of flesh. She cuts her arm off.
That's mostly bone.
Yep.
All right.
I mean, there's a lot of flesh on your arm. But...
It's impressive, but I do think you're right. All that belly fat was fleshier.
Yeah.
Interesting. And maybe the right person didn't win. And she sure didn't seem grateful.
No, she wasn't.
Do you know that she was the winner of a reality show?
Yes. I was going to bring this up to you.
Yeah. Okay. So ahead of Saw 6, they had a reality show called Scream Queens, not to be confused with the classic Abigail Breslin, Leah Michelle show, that where the winner of the show got a part in Saw 6.
Yeah, and Saw 7 apparently.
No, they did she shows up again in Saw 7, right? Maybe I guess they just liked her.
Yeah, I guess so. Do you know who hosted this show, by the way?
No, I know nothing about this show. Please tell me everything.
Well, I don't know much about it, but I know one of the hosts was Miss Shawnee Smith.
What?
She was a host on the show. And I know that James Gunn was like a judge or something.
Okay, so I got so excited I think I killed my mic. What? So Shawnee Smith hosted this reality show.
Also, the lady from Joe Dirt that he thinks is his sister that he tries to hook up with.
Who was that? Jamie Presley?
Yes, right?
Was it?
Yeah, that's familiar.
Yeah. So she was on this show?
She was like another host. I think they were both hosts.
Why?
Maybe like a
she
different
was
seasons.
In like Poison Ivy too?
Maybe different seasons. I don't know.
Well, there were 2 seasons because there's a character in the 7th one that won season 2 of Scream Queens.
Who? I don't know. I don't know that person. I just know this one.
I'll tell you when we get there. I wrote it down.
Okay.
It's very exciting stuff.
Was it the girl who's like, I was in a trap and it shows like people hanging over fans? It's probably her because that seems random.
Hanging over fans?
One girl at the meeting is like, I was in a trap also, and it's like her and a man hanging over fans.
Those fucking cutaways were so half-assed, man.
These movies are weird. Are they supposed to be funny? I don't even know anymore.
I think the 7th one kind of is.
The 6th one too is pretty funny sometimes. Like the editing is kind of weird. And the one moment where Jigsaw's looking at the fish tank and he says, piranha.
Oh my god, can we talk about that moment? Like what the fuck was that? Like, I mean, it's impossible not to notice, though. Like, anyone who's seen this movie is going to know, oh, yeah, that part where he says piranha weird.
Piranha.
It really stands out. I thought perhaps there might be a piranha trap at the end of the movie, and that's why, like, they wanted us to notice that. Like, it was giving him an idea. But no, it never comes back ever.
No, maybe that's like the mascot for his cult, a piranha.
Ooh, maybe they worship... Maybe that's the name of his cult, Piranha.
You think Jerry O'Connell is going to be in his cult?
Is he in the movie Piranha 3D?
Yes, he is.
Okay, I don't remember.
He's shooting like porn in that movie.
And then his penis you're right. He's basically Joe Francis from Girls Gone Wild in that movie.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but I assume that's
What? Why? Is it weird that I know the name of the proprietor of Girls Gone Wild? Just his full name right off the top of my head?
No, you know everything about the world.
Thank you, Logan. I mean, I know nothing about the world.
But to me,
someone tried to talk to me about the war in Ukraine yesterday, and I was like, good luck with this conversation.
Yeah. Like somebody in the building?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Saw 5?
Yeah, talk to me about Saw 5. I could talk all day.
You're talking about Hoffman?
No, I didn't bring up Hoffman, man. It didn't seem like a good time.
Okay.
Yeah. So Greutert, he's stepping in to direct. And we've got, this movie came out October 23rd, 2009 on a budget of $11 million. And holy shit, that budget just keeps going down. 68.2.
The box office. Yeah.
The box office, yeah.
46 million less than Saw 5.
That's so much. That means people didn't like Saw 5.
Like almost half.
And I'm telling you, it's because of Hoffman. Like people, when Jigsaw was Jigsaw.
Also, we said Saw 5 is not as great. The traps are bad.
But listen to me. People would get excited. I want to see the new Jigsaw movie. No one's getting excited. I want to see the new Hoffman movie. All right, I don't want to talk about it yet, but Halloween Ends. This is like if after Halloween Ends, they made like 4 Halloween movies starring.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It's exactly like, or like if Friday the 13th, they never brought Jason back and Jason Lives. And it was just like, all right, we're doing 5 movies with Roy.
Right. Yeah, that's a good comparison also.
Yeah. It's bullshit. You can't sustain a franchise that way. Costas Mandylor cannot be your star. I'm sorry. I'm not that sorry. Scream Queens aired on VH1, by the way. Video Hits 1. Do you like that, John?
VH1.
Did I ever tell you the story about when my family first got cable?
No.
All right. So we always used to get cable in the summers, just like as a special thing. All right. We're off from school. We'll get cable. And then they'd cancel it. All right. My family was poor. And then finally, one year, they got like a deal with Cablevision and we were getting cable. And I was so fucking excited, dude, that I ran all the way home from elementary school. And I got home
by yourself?
Yeah, by myself.
Did you walk home from school every day by yourself?
Most days.
Not with your sister?
My elementary school was like 2 blocks away from my house.
Still.
Yeah, I know. Whatever, man. So I ran home, raced home by myself, got in with my key, immediately turned on the television. Boom. First thing I did, I knew what channel it was. Channel 53, baby. No, not VH1. MTV, obviously. Okay? And the video that was on was I'll Make Love to You by Boyz II Men. Okay? A great song. I was basking in it, loving every second of it. But I couldn't help.
7?
Yeah, but maybe 8. But I couldn't help myself, Logan, because what are on the other channels? There's so many other channels. All right? So I turned down the channel 1 to channel 52. What channel was this? Video Hits 1, baby. VH1. And what video was on? But I'll Make Love to You by Boyz II Men. And I was like, what a world I live in. I could
Any
watch
channel you go to, you can watch.
I could watch I'll Make Love to You by Boyz II Men on 2 different channels at the same time.
What is life right now?
This life can be good. Ultimately, I was wrong about that. Life was terrible. But at that time in my life, it seemed to have some promise. Yeah. All right. So this movie came in at number 98 at the box office between Brothers, which I think had Jake Gyllenhaal in it, and Dance Flick, which was a Wayans Brothers. You must have loved this. You love spoofs.
I don't know. I never even heard of it.
Dance Flick. This was the Wayans Brothers spoofing like Step Up and You Got Served.
Yeah, this one I didn't know existed.
I think I would like to see it. Like, I think I'm over time. I used to be really anti-spoofy movies, and now as an adult, I'm like, maybe that's what I want to watch.
You see, I think they did like 50 Shades of Black.
Yeah, I know. They've got a new one out right now, and I'm kind of curious about it. Lauren Lapkus is in it, and I've always kind of been curious to do on the show a haunted house.
Yeah, I saw the first haunted house movie.
You did?
It's pretty funny.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of liked it.
I'm open to it. We got to do the scary movies first, I guess, because those are your guys.
Of course. Yeah.
We already did Airplane for me on the show.
And Airport. Did you guys do those back to back?
Yeah, we did them back to back. We should also do The Naked Gun. Those are good spoofy movies.
Okay. How many of those are there? 3?
3, just 3.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. And O.J. Simpson's in them.
And there are 5 scary movies, so we can do 5 and then 3. That's 8. That's 4 weeks.
Let's do them back to back. Spoof month.
All right, spoof month.
I think we just planned something
for April. That's like the joke. April Fools. That's a joke month. Spoof month for April.
It's done. It's happening.
Right. Spoof month in April.
Yeah. Get pumped. All right. So back to Saw 6. Let's talk about it. I do think that this movie, if it's not funny, which you seem to think it is, it's definitely making an effort.
It's silly, I think, kind of.
I think it's definitely making an effort to be more fun.
And like how you meet all the guys in the office and they're like, these are the 6 guys. They turn everybody down. And it's like, hey, we found a thing in the application. Got to turn them down. And I think that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And how they're like begging for their lives and everything. It's kind of funny.
And one of those dudes was Eddie from Family Matters.
Okay.
You never watched Family Matters?
Not really. Like I a little bit.
He was the brother.
Okay.
The cool brother.
Well, see,
cool,
oh my god,
brother.
He's the one. They're like when they're begging for their lives. They're like, he's a thief. He's been stealing from the company.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that guy.
I thought that was weird.
Well, got a little racist near the end there, but it probably would have in real life too. So the movie starts with the big smoker versus insurance guy face off.
Well, that's not the first part of the movie, but that's the first like trap that he's in.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. The movie opens with the fat guy and the one cutting her arm off.
Right.
Yeah.
We learned Perez is alive. She wasn't in the last movie, remember?
Yeah, that was a surprise. They pull what's his face? Hoffman. I can't even remember our killer's name.
Is that his last name?
Yeah.
What's Mark Hoffman, right?
Head of Hoffold.
Hoffold, right? Yeah. You know that guy's first name?
Matt, I believe.
That's so weird. You know that guy?
I mean, to be honest, there was a Matt Hoffman who went to my high school, who was the narrator for the first 3 seasons of Love Island USA. So yeah. I think I was able to remember his name because he has the same name as that guy.
Yes, I don't know if you told me you went to school with that guy, but I see that guy's name.
My sister did.
I think of that guy.
He's an alum of my high school. My sister was in his class.
Okay.
I saw him perform in a couple school plays, not to brag or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So a lot of this movie is just about this. Oh, wait, back to Perez. I'm sorry. They pull Hoffman into the other room, and the remaining cops that are still alive, which is like this dude with a ginger mustache, they're like
Erickson.
Yeah, Erickson, right. He's okay, actually.
I think that's weird also, by the way. Like, is that like Odin and Odin's son? Like Eric, he's Eric Matthews' son. He's Eric's son.
I never thought about it.
That's all I forgot think of when they say Erickson.
I forgot that fucking guy's name was Eric Matthews.
Yeah, if you think of any other name than Eric's son.
Come on. I mean, it's not like his name was Jigsaw's son.
That would be great.
So, but they pull Hoffman into the other room. They're like, yo, only a couple people know this. Let me bring you in because obviously you can be trusted. You're definitely not the killer that we're looking for.
Yeah. Well, at this point, they still think it's Strahm because Strahm had they planted all the evidence on Strahm and Strahm's dead. So they just think, all right, well, Strahm was the killer.
Right. They had his hand. He took his hand at the beginning.
It was like on the top of the bars and he was like, oh, now I got a hand I can use for
That's
fingerprints.
Right. I forgot at the beginning of this movie there's a whole section where we're still in Saw 5.
Right, we see him escaping Saw 5.
Right, yeah. You see, we Lion King 1.5 the end of Saw 5 a little bit. Yeah. So so Perez, what movie was she in? 2 and 3, maybe?
No, she's definitely not in 2. She's definitely in 4. She might be in 3. I want to say she's just in 4. Okay. I don't know. But she gets shrapneled in the face, and I guess we were meant to believe that killed her.
She was just this random cop. She was the partner of one of the other cops. Maybe Luke?
Yeah, they were partners.
Yeah.
That's why she doesn't believe that Strahm was the killer, because she's like, I worked with this guy forever. He never led me to believe that he's a serial killer.
Didn't we know she was alive? Because remember, I noticed her getting carried out on a stretcher.
But then in Saw 5 they show her like bed and it has like a bloody pillow. It looks like someone like walked in.
Yeah, but there's
blew
no
her head off.
But there's no body in the bed. When I
but
saw
they say
that,
like I'm sorry about Perez. Like I think we're meant to believe she's dead.
when I saw the bed, I was like, I bet she's alive.
Okay, it is like not well established.
No, it's weird. But anyway, like she's apparently like alive and she's been living in a safe house. I don't understand.
Safe house.
I don't really know what her importance is. Like, why is it good that she's alive?
I think just because she's in the movie because she was Strom's partner, and so she would be apprehensive that Strom was actually the killer.
Right, but does she actually know anything that anybody else doesn't?
No.
Like, I don't think she knows for sure that Strom is not the killer.
She just knows him the best. And is
yeah,
like, hey,
because they were
fishy.
partners.
Yeah.
Partners.
That makes sense to me, I think.
I guess. All right. But a lot of this movie is taken up by this insurance adjuster. I said adjuster.
Yeah.
But it's adjuster.
William is his name.
Yeah. What's his full name?
William Wallace.
William Wallace. Yeah.
I don't know his full name.
I don't believe we know. I don't think they ever tell us. But yeah, he's going to be our lead. I don't really know this actor much, but he's been in a ton of shit. And
he's pretty good insurance guy.
I actually thought he was pretty good. Yeah, smarmy, but not like incredibly unlikable, where you're like kind of still rooting for him to survive.
Good desperation face, right?
Yeah, but if he died, you're like, I guess that's fine. He's an insurance guy.
Right. Yeah.
Possible
MVP.
So much of this movie was watching health insurance people getting tortured that like you can't really fully hate the movie.
well, one of them is it's just like this guy, the janitor. They're like, he smoked and doesn't cherish his life, so now he's in a breathing trap against you.
That pissed me off so much.
That was like the craziest
in what
thing
universe ever. Is smoking reason enough to be kidnapped by Jigsaw? I also have another problem with this one where like Jigsaw's not creating traps for people anymore. Like this trap is just for that one guy, and he's kidnapped like 10 other people in the service of this one guy.
Yeah, and some of them really don't deserve it. Like this guy, and then there's the one where it's like there's an old lady and a guy with no family. Choose who dies and who lives. And it's like, what did these people ever do?
Yeah. I mean, what about that one girl, that hot girl? All she did was lie about having a baby.
Well, those people are like, I guess they like find the fraud in the people's applications.
But that's just their jobs. Like I understand,
but
like
it's just his job, right?
But they're just cogs in the wheel, man. Like I would work that job if I could. They probably get paid so much money. Like
right, like this guy's actually.
I wouldn't do is like be CEO of one of these companies because
right,
like,
making the evil decisions. Is
yeah,
like, yeah. I guess that's what this guy's doing.
It's insane. But yeah, they kidnap his whole family, like everyone who works for him. His fucking
that's
janitor.
Not his family. We think that's his family, but it turns out that that's the guy's family.
Oh, that's right. That's part of the twist. But
did you notice anybody in that family, by the way?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
But I guess you wouldn't.
You and Tim had the same Letterboxd review, so I figured it out.
Well, I was surprised you didn't get horny watching this one because this guy's from Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies.
Are you just trying to reference that one time I thought that a cardboard
one time
cutout
as opposed to
of
my 0 time?
Listen,
it's a big deal.
One time I thought a cardboard cutout of a Diary of the Wimpy Kid was a hot girl in the distance. All right.
How many other people have done that one time, you think?
I think maybe a few.
Like, if they set the over under 3.5, I would bang the under, I think. I think I would. That's like one of the funniest things I've ever heard, though. But this guy plays his older brother Roderick, and this guy rules. He rules. Yeah. He's so cool.
All right. Can you walk us through the insurance traps?
Yeah. Well, there's the smoker guy that they have to breathe.
Right.
And I actually like how that one's directed and made. How it is sort of tense. How they have to it gets quiet and they breathe in and it crushes them a little bit. That's pretty good, right?
It's all right, yeah. I mean, it's a little gross.
But they try to do it again in the 7th one where, like, the girl who has the key in her mouth, and she, like, can't scream or the things come closer. Like, they try and copy it again, but it's just grosser.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, it's not as good. The second one...
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay, it was, like, his lawyer or something. Go ahead.
The second one we talked about was, like, the old lady versus the the guy with no family.
Right.
And he's just like, all right, choose which one to hang.
He chooses the old lady. I think
the wrong choice also.
Yeah, I kind of do too. I appreciated the one guy yelling at him like as he's trying to make a decision. Do it by the policy. Do it by the policy.
Yeah, that stupid policy.
Yeah, because like he knows that like he's the more viable person for the policy. Anyway,
did you like that one? The carousel with the shotgun?
That's the best one in any Saw movie.
Really?
I mean, after the first one.
I think I might have a choice for that in the 7th movie.
Really? Which one?
I really like the Chester Bennington trap.
Oh, get out of here with the fucking Rube Goldberg trap.
I like that one. Is really well made, and they're like real dummies that get killed in that one. It's really cool.
Oh, by the way, the blonde girl in that scene, that's the winner of Scream Queens season 2.
The blonde girl in which scene?
That scene, the Chester Bennington scene. It's a much smaller role than the winner of season 1.
His girlfriend in the scene?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Okay, well.
But I guess she got to be like Chester Bennington's girlfriend. That's something you could tell people.
You think they really kissed? Like they went method?
I bet they fucked.
You think so?
I mean, I don't know anything about Chester Bennington. If I'm thinking like he's a rock star doing one day on a movie set, like maybe he did fuck this reality show girl.
I think he's in the movie because he has a good scream. I think that's basically why he's in the movie.
What?
It feels like that.
Can we talk about Chester?
Yeah.
Is he in the 7th or the
7th one?
Should we save it?
Yeah, save it.
All right. I'm going to say some not nice things about Chester.
Oh, Mike, don't do that.
No, people are going to be upset, and maybe I should keep it to myself. All
right. Well, why you really think the carousel shotgun thing is the best?
I loved it. Yeah,
I was sort of surprised how. Yeah, keep going.
No, just the decision making, like the way they were all like pleading their cases to him and then turning on each other. It was like watching like a little reality competition, in you know, or like the Stanford Prison Experiment. I don't know. It was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. He was really quick to kill that one lady that said she was pregnant. He like did not believe that for a second.
Well, come on, like that's bullshit. She waited too long. She waited too long to say it. It would be the first thing out of your mouth.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah,
you are right about that.
Come on. At the beginning of this movie, someone's getting who's getting stitches in this movie?
Someone's getting stitches at the start of the movie.
Maybe not at the start of the movie, but I wrote down somebody gets stitches, and it's CGI stitches. They couldn't even show real stitches. They glitched.
Yeah, I think this is where... Oh, actually, I think there's like another trap where someone is going through like a steam thing. Like he has to like put himself through the steam so that the girl can crawl through the steam.
Yes.
Does that ring a bell at all? And I think that he has a key that was put inside of him, and she... Oh, that's what you're talking about.
This is the thing I was talking about.
Yeah, where she tries to take the key out of him.
Best fight. Yeah.
Yeah. This is it.
I loved this fight. And I loved this lady. Like, I'm considering her for MVP. She's only in like 2 scenes of the movie.
I forgot about this scene.
But it's like I remembered her. She's like in the scene in the insurance adjuster's office. Why do I keep saying adjuster?
It's tough.
It's the insurance adjuster at the beginning of the movie, and she's like pleading for her husband who has cancer and shit. And I noticed her in that scene. I was like, wow, this one scene lady's really good. And then she shows up later in the movie and has a fucking chainsaw fight. And I was like, this lady fucking rules. I'm into it. And then I looked her up, and she still has a career. And I was like, of course she does, because she's awesome.
Yeah, didn't really do it for me. But the other thing going on the whole movie is like they did the autopsy on the fat guy from the start of the movie who cut off his whole belly, basically. Remember, to do the flesh, and they did an autopsy, and they realized the puzzle piece that was carved into him was used with a different blade. So now they're going back to Seth because that was a different blade, and they're looking at his tape to try and like unscramble the tape. So that's what's going
yeah,
on here.
what's
I actually like that
happening?
scene.
I like it too. Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunstan, the writers. Now, between Saw 5 and 6, they've been watching some CSI, and they're getting really interested in forensic investigations. They're like, God, we've been writing these cops all wrong. Just they've been morons like the entire time. Let's have them do some actual investigating. And so they do things like, yeah, the blade was different, and we can tell like this and this fingerprint was planted, and we know that because of this. Like, it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting. And when I was thinking about,
I think this director likes CSI too. He's doing a lot of those CSI zooms.
Oh, I didn't notice any zooms. Whenever I sort of get Saw 5 and Saw 6 confused because it's a lot of like the cops cat and mouse game, but Saw 6 doesn't have Strom in it like at all.
Yeah,
I thought that I always got them confused in my mind, but I will never again.
Yeah, no, Jigsaw crushed it in the last one.
Yeah,
I mean, crushed Strom. Where are we going?
Well, then there's also the big reveal of this one. I don't know how big a reveal it is or how meaningful it is, but like there was a paper that was given to Jill, and then Jill gives the paper to Hoffman, and Hoffman reads it, and it's like the paper that he gave to Amanda saying, like, I know you were with Cecil the night that Cecil killed, what's the son's name? Gideon, the night that he killed Gideon. So I'm going to tell, so that's why she killed Lynn, and that's how she died. So he got Amanda
right. That's the twist, basically, is that Amanda, our erstwhile dead apprentice, played by the great Shawnee Smith, she had a hand in the death of Jigsaw's son accidentally. And honestly, she had so little to do with it that I think if she owned up to that with Tobin Bell's character, what's his name? John
Kramer, yeah.
I think John Kramer would have forgiven her and kept her on as apprentice. But it turns out that all that killing she was doing that turned Jigsaw against her was fucking demanded by Hoffman, and he was keeping her quiet using that info as blackmail. It's a pretty good twist.
Yeah,
definitely better than the twist in the last one. And to me, Amanda's my favorite character in the entire franchise, and this is just justice for Amanda. Like, I didn't want Amanda to go out like that, like, oh, I killed too hard. Like, no, I wanted her to be Jigsaw. They would have been better off just making her Jigsaw.
What do you mean? Like keeping her
alive? Back then, like they should have just killed Hoffman, kept her alive, and she would have been Jigsaw for like the next few movies.
I think she was like Lee's creation. He wanted her to die with him.
Yeah, I guess so. But that think about the wider franchise, guys. This could go on for years and years. To me, that's selfish, killing off your own character.
But they do it really well. Like nothing that I would change. Like it all works out in the end. Basically,
I would change it.
I wouldn't. And then we get the reverse bear trap on Hoffman. Did you think he was going to die at the end of this movie?
You're skipping so much shit, man.
Did I really?
Yeah, I did think Hoffman was going to die. I couldn't imagine a world where it would be worthwhile to keep him alive for another movie, but they did. Yeah, no, I do want to talk about a few more things. I'm annoyed by these killings. And the killings, the trap by the insurance guy in this movie was demanded by John, original Jigsaw. This is one of the traps he planned before his death. And it's because of a personal thing, right? Because they couldn't get insurance or something?
Right. We did skip over this whole thing. Right. He tried to get insurance, but the guy didn't let him.
John Kramer was turned down for insurance. So literally, this entire movie is just revenge killing. Like, he's just the Punisher now. And he's not even a good Punisher. It's not like he's killing criminals. He's just killing people that have wronged him.
Yeah, that's I guess what he does.
But that's not anything. Like, you're not going to change somebody's life that way. You're not going to change the world that way. That seems petty to me.
That's also why I liked the Chester Bennington one, because they were like, you and your friends are all racist.
I loved
So I was like, all right, I want to see these guys die. Yeah.
They should have had him throwing some slurs around, man. I wanted to hear Chester say the N-word.
In the trap, that's just like his final words.
Yeah. He just yells it as he's dying.
It's kind of sad seeing him die when he's dead, right?
I don't care. Listen.
Let's not do it. I guess you're not a fan of Linkin Park.
Am I supposed to? Like, they treated him like fucking Kurt Cobain when he passed.
He's a legend.
Dude, he never wrote a good song his entire life.
What are you talking about?
There's no good Linkin Park song. One step closer to the edge. I'm about to break.
In the end, it doesn't even matter.
Your skin. Yeah, that one. In the end, it doesn't even. Yeah, I've become so numb. I can't feel that. They all suck.
I disagree.
Listen, I'm sorry. He's not the problem. The biggest problem in that band is Shinoda. But
No, I don't know.
He did have a good scream. I'll give him that. Crawling was okay. All right. Let's move on.
Okay.
So I'm very happy about Amanda. And one other important thing in this movie, because I'm wondering if this character might come back. We meet the Saw Universe's version of Rita Skeeter.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, his wife?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we don't know it's his wife at first. Like, through the whole movie, we're just hanging out with this reporter who's
Rita
like
Skeeter.
creating sensationalist stories about like the Saw murders. And yeah, to me, she was Rita Skeeter. And then it turns out at the end she's married to the insurance adjuster guy.
Right, and she lives, so we definitely could see her again.
I think we should. That's an interesting character. We should see like what's going on in like the Daily Bugle of the Sawverse.
Yeah, well, I'd hate to spoil anything.
Do we ever see her again?
That might be the setting for a Saw film, the Daily Bugle.
Ooh, that would be great. Yeah, you could use those like printing press machines in like gruesome ways. All right.
What do you give this film?
I give this film a sweet 2. And love Shawnee. She's the MVP, and she gets the "and" credit. Very proud of her.
Wow, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
You're sticking around for all the credits of these?
Oh yeah, because I love the songs. I love the terrible new metal songs.
Are you gonna play Linkin Park, by the way?
Should I?
But I don't think you should play the songs anymore. I think I should just do it.
Why?
It sounds better, and I can extend it as long as I want. I can.
But then I don't get to choose the song.
You can tell me what song you want.
All right, I like choosing the song, so let me choose.
You can choose whatever song you want. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, yeah, it sounds better.
I know it sounds better. I understand that. I thought part of the charm was that it sounds shitty.
That's fine. But I also like that it gives me like more to play around with. Like you only get.
I know you're obsessed with editing right now. I think you should go be a professional editor. Move out west.
Listen, I would love to do that.
Yeah. You have a reel.
Whenever we go to Vegas,
Big Brother 9 2.5 hour nonsense is your reel. Just go.
All I did was put clips in order of like how shit happened.
Yeah, but you did a 36 fucking episode thing. You cut it down to 2.5 hours.
340 to something. The season's too good. It's too good.
It's too good. I know. All right. Hey,
Sheila also liked my tweet about that. I posted the tweet about that.
That was off air. Stay tuned for some very fun Big Brother content this week. Possibly. Yeah. Probably. Yeah. Next.
I give it 2. Yeah, I give it 2 also.
You give it a 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a 2. Like the other
could be a 3, but also I gave Saw 2. I think 2. Did I give that a 3?
No,
maybe I'll give this a 3.
This was this was a 2. Saw 6.
All right, I'll give it 2.
Saw 5 and 7 to me.
That's Roderick.
I was like floating between a 2 and a 1 with those, but this one was a solid 2, baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
My MVP. I might go William, the main guy. I thought he was pretty good.
He is pretty good. I'm okay with that. I thought about that.
Yeah. Or Jill. She's around.
And LVP Hoffman, of course.
Wait, who's your MVP?
Shawnee.
Oh, really? She's barely in this.
What are you talking about? She's getting crucial flashback material.
Okay. I will go with...
Plus, it's most valuable. I always want to stress this. And to me, having Shawnee Smith as Amanda in 2 to 3 scenes of this movie, that adds more value than literally any other actor.
I will go with, I sort of think that Erickson guy is kind of bad.
I don't mind that guy.
I think in this one he's not so good. Perez, I don't always love.
Yeah, Perez is kind of nothing.
Who was your LVP? Hoffman?
Yeah.
I'll go Hoffman too.
Okay. 7th movie.
Saw 3D.
7 of 9.
The final
as
chapter.
Star Trek Voyager once said so eloquently.
Wow.
Yeah. We've got all our pals back. Greutert directing. Melton and Dunstan writing. Dunstan's checking back into this movie. October 29th, 2000.
Can I tell you a little something about Kevin Greutert before the start of the movie?
Please do, yeah.
He was supposed to direct...
Oh, I know this. I'm going to get into this.
Okay.
But I'm just doing this. Okay. No. You can do it. Do it. I'm sorry. It's
exciting. Just that he was like a new guy. They were going to give him another shot to direct Paranormal Activity 2. And then they were like, not so fast, buddy. You got to direct Saw 3D, the final chapter.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy about that, too, is that they had hired Dave Hackle from Saw 5 to come back and direct Saw 7. Yeah, Mike Newell. And they got like a little bit into pre-production and shit, and they were like, I don't think it's working out with this dude. And so they fired Hackle, and they exercised a clause in Greutert's contract to get him out of filming Paranormal Activity 2, which is the movie he actually wanted to make, and go off and make Saw 7 on short notice, like a 3D movie.
Yeah.
It seems crazy.
I only noticed really like 3 3D shots, really.
Well, Cariel was throwing the saw at the camera. At one point, there's like a piece of flesh that pops out at you.
Okay. One of them was when they fake kill Jill. Kill Jill. That could have been a title. Saw Kill Jill. That could have been a title. So.
Like, still can. I mean, we're now doing Jigsaw 2 and Spiral 2, so we can now do Kill Jill Volume 2 as well.
She's dead. She just get reverse bear trapped.
Shawnee was dead. And now she's getting the end credit.
When they fake kill her on that, she has like a dream where she dies. That's sort of in 3D. And also, there's one where like he throws the key to his friend who's like walking on the planks, and the key falls in 3D. Yeah. That's another one.
Yeah, I also thought that maybe when they finally do kill, what's her face?
Jill.
You know how her like tongue is sticking out?
Yeah.
I thought maybe that might have been 3D.
Was it?
I don't know. I didn't watch it in 3D. I watched it in glorious 2 dimensions.
I don't want to spoil anything, but how about that tongue thing in Halloween Ends?
It was awesome. Halloween Ends, guys.
Oh, come on.
You're all wrong. Okay.
People don't like it?
Oh, people hate it.
I didn't know that. I haven't seen anybody's opinions.
Do you like it too?
I don't know.
Okay. Guys, Halloween Ends is the best Halloween movie.
Come on.
Period.
Saw 3D.
Period. All right. Saw. This movie was originally had a different title, Logan, that they changed. It was called Saw Endgame, and they were like, I guess nothing called Endgame is gonna make any money, right?
Is this true?
I mean, that last part I made up, but it was originally called Saw Endgame.
Okay, well,
yeah. This was nominated for 2 awards, Logan. 1 Golden Raspberry.
It's the raspberries, no razzmatazz. Well, all we're lacking is a little pizzazz, 'cause it's the golden raspberries. It's the worst of the worst, not the best of the best. It's pizzazz gone raz.
The Raspberries had developed a new category around this time because 3D was so hot that they invented a category, the most eye-gouging misuse of 3D.
Okay.
And this lost in that category to The Last Airbender.
All right, that's probably fair.
Yeah, that also won worst film that year, so I think it was just sweeping.
Yep.
Teen Choice Awards.
Is that M. Night's low point?
Yes,
Last Airbender?
It was. I've now seen every M. Night movie, and that is so the low point. Like, I've seen like After Earth, like some of these other ones happening that people say are terrible. Lady in the Water.
After Earth's probably second worst.
Lady in the Water is really bad. I think After Earth's better than Lady in the Water. It is more interesting, but it's so stupid.
It's got Paul Giamatti. Shout out to Tim.
Yeah. Hey, and I want to recommend a book out there to everybody. If you never read, M. Night Shyamalan published...
You didn't like Glass.
Sorry. Why don't you shut up? He published his journals from when he was making Lady in the Water.
Okay.
And it is the ravings of a lunatic.
Yeah, he was going through it at the time.
He really was. I once waited on my girlfriend, this was during college, in a Barnes & Noble for hours. And I didn't even give a shit because I found that book. And I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know it existed. I picked it up off the shelf. I was like, M. Night Shyamalan book? What the fuck? And I just started reading it. Never stopped. Read the whole book in the store.
Wow, that's awesome.
It was outrageous. All right, so the Teen Choice Awards.
It's the Teen Choice Award.
This is incredible, Logan.
Yeah.
It was nominated for Best Horror Film.
Okay.
What do you think won?
2010. Best. What are some good ones coming out then? I think like Nightmare on Elm Street was that year, maybe.
Logan,
that sucked though.
The winner was Paranormal Activity 2.
Oh, how did I not think of that?
So can I just say, do you think there was any part of Kevin Greutert that was sad about that?
I bet a huge part of him was sad
like
about that.
His movie got nominated for a Razzie, and the movie he was supposed to direct won a Teen Choice Award.
Yeah, I bet this like bummed him out hugely. I bet this is like the bummer of his life.
Yeah. Well, I checked to see if he killed himself, and he didn't.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, so thank God he's still alive. Still and married to an actress. She's actually in one of these movies.
Oh, who? Do you know?
No, I think it was just like he gave his lady a role.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about
James Wan did that in Malignant.
Who's James Wan's lady?
She's like one of the ladies that's running around that movie.
Really?
There's like her and a sister, but she's not one of them. She's like another lady.
All right.
I don't even remember.
Just want to point out that yet another week where Logan referenced Malignant, his favorite movie of all time.
I wouldn't have done it if we weren't talking about Saw.
I don't know about that.
All right.
So the film starts interestingly, I thought.
I wanted to say you didn't touch on the box office at all, but this is only $3 million less than Saw 4, and it's $68 million more than the last movie. So they are doing great.
Yeah, I meant to. Sorry. October 29th, 2010. They advertised this movie as being the final chapter. So I think people that had skipped the last few Saw movies went back because they were like, there might be some cool twists and shit. And maybe Jigsaw's alive or something. And so people tuned back in, made $136.2 million on a $20 million budget. Unfortunately, they had to double the budget.
That's a crazy budget.
It's because of the 3D bullshit. That made everything more expensive.
Well, they took hits in other places. Like the blood is all pink in this movie. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
Go back and watch it. It's like all pink blood.
I'm not going to ever rewatch this movie.
I've seen this movie like 5 times, definitely.
If I ever rewatch any of them, I'll watch the first 2 and bail.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did rank all the movies by their box office. Do you want that? The first 7? By how much they made at the box office?
I'm sure it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 5, 6.
No, it's not even close. 3, 2, 4, 7, 5, 1, 6.
All right. I wasn't even close.
Yeah. I said 1 was first. That's the second to last.
Well, yeah, I should have known because that movie like did well on video, and then 2 was the first one that everyone really saw in theaters.
Yeah.
All right, this movie came in at number 70 at the box office between Ashton Kutcher's Killers and Cop Out. Back in the halcyon days of 2010, when we all thought Cop Out was going to be the nadir of Kevin Smith's career, how wrong we were.
What is the nadir of his career?
I don't know, probably yoga hosers. Let's move on. So it starts with a trap in public and like kind of outside.
Yeah, it's really weird, right?
And during daytime, it's like we never did anything like this. The entire
I was hoping you'd
rest
catch
of the
on to
franchise.
this. Yeah, it's completely unlike anything ever.
Yeah, why didn't we experiment more with this sort of thing?
It's not their aesthetic. I don't know.
You know, it's interesting because like this, because it's in public and it's behind like a glass display case, it's almost like Jigsaw is a murderous Banksy. You know, he's like doing an experimental art exhibition, but with people killing each other.
But this is really the only one. That should have been his actual through line.
That's what this felt like.
Cool.
I think that would have been a nice evolution for the character.
Yeah, well, he does do a lot of outside, like the Chester Bennington thing is like outside, like he drives outside. That's the whole thing.
The Bennington thing seemed like complicated too. Like he's really, to me, I think they're just going through that notebook of Saw ideas, and they're like, let's use all the best ones we got left for this one.
Yeah, we're going all out.
Yeah, like AEW. So Jigsaw's really mad at a cheating girl at the beginning of the movie. That's who he's punishing.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I mean, are you kidding me? A girl who's cheating on her boyfriend in college? That's who you're punishing here? Yeah, that's all girls in college. Every single one.
And I'm sure if you look at that crowd of people, there's like 35 people you can choose from that crowd. Like, what's so special about these people?
Yeah, literally everyone cheats. Like, we've brought up Tim already on this episode. He's been married to...
What are you doing right now?
Listen, he's been married to a woman he knows since he was 18, all right? Or 17 or something. And he's only been with her. And I want to say, I don't think he has yet, but at some point in his life, he'll cheat on her. And he's listening to this right now, and he's thinking he's off base.
Wow, he's in my brain.
He doesn't.
Or he's like, whoa,
no,
right.
He's thinking he's off base. He doesn't know me as well as he thinks he does. I know myself way more. And what I know is that he's thinking that to himself now, and he's wrong.
Wow, so you know Tim more than Tim knows Tim.
I just know human nature, man. These fuckers are gonna cheat.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that because like I'm incapable of monogamy or because like I've cheated on 100 women. I have cheated and I've been cheated upon. But like it's a thing that happens. 60% of marriages end in divorce. I mean, 100% of marriages have infidelity.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
I would bet my life that neither of my grandparents cheated on each other.
You're wrong.
And I don't think it happened.
It happened.
I really don't think it happened.
Your grandma, she got drunk one night and sucked a fucking dick, man.
I don't think it's true. I think they're too, not to be like too mean, but I think they're like too simple to think like I'm unhappy and want to seek out like alternatives elsewhere.
But it's not a matter of unhappiness. They wouldn't seek it out. At some point in your life, someone shows an attraction to you, and it's up to you. Like to me, simple people are really, like, because they would just like, oh my God, it's an opportunity presenting itself to me. I'm going to take it.
But they would just think like, oh, my life's comfortable how it is. Why would I want to do anything else?
They wouldn't have the forethought. I'm telling you.
All right, I guess I'll ask them about it.
They would lie.
You think? I can tell when people are
Everyone
lying.
cheats. Everyone's uncomfortable listening to this right now. And it's because you cheat.
I never cheated. I gotta say, never cheated.
Yeah, you're young.
Never really had a serious girlfriend, so.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think you've really had an opportunity to cheat.
No, but also I wouldn't.
Well, good. I hope so. I like to think I would never cheat again.
That's my whole thing. Is like I could right now just like get in a relationship with somebody and then like cheat on them and not give a shit. But I'm the kind of person that why would I waste somebody's time? You know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, it's out of fear of being lonely. That's
I've been
why
lonely
I've wasted
for
people's times before.
For a long time.
Well, you're used to it, I guess.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
There's no depression. So.
All right. So
anyway, I saw 3D.
Chester Bennington, his back has become so numb, and he's been kidnapped because he's racist. Yeah. And his whole crew is. What is this crew he's with? Are they just friends?
Yeah, they're racist friends.
They're like that crew walking around bullying Corey in Halloween Ends.
You're like, can't get away from this Halloween
I can't
Ends.
keep that great film off my mind.
Yeah. I guess you're right. Yeah, they are like those people.
Yeah.
But they're not racist, though.
Jigsaw should have thrown him off a bridge or something. Well, they might have been. Oh, I guess Corey's white. They just don't like freaks.
And I think there was like a black girl in the group.
Oh, yeah, there was. She was pretty uncomfortable with some of the bullying.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into it. So Chester, you liked this one, huh?
Yeah, I like they were racist. I liked that it was practical dummies. It was like fun, shot fun. I liked it.
I mean, so much of
the
this
screaming is good.
Yeah. I didn't like this movie.
No, I didn't either. Cool. I'm not defending the movie.
I think it's the worst of the first 7.
Yeah, like the way you should think about these is like, how good are the traps? How good is the other stuff going on? And in this one, the traps are bad, and the other stuff going on is bad.
I mean, but the traps bad? Like the one at the beginning, the bisected
horrible.
girl, that I don't like. But then you like the Chester one.
That one's good, but then there's the one where that key's in the girl's mouth and she has to stay quiet, where Jigsaw's like, she's a publicist and she's been rewarded for her using her words. Now she cannot use her words.
Everyone just gets punished for having bad jobs now. And it's like the job market's tough, Jigsaw. We're taking the work we can.
But not Chester. He's a racist. That's why that one's good.
Like, I have friends who work for like horrible corporations and they don't want to. But like that's the job they got in New York City.
Right.
There's another one. Jigsaw understands class differences. I think he probably grew up pretty well off.
No, Jigsaw's like a real bad guy. And there's like another part where
he's so rich. He's so rich though. He owns so much property. Every time he sets up a trap, it's across an entire property of rooms upon rooms upon rooms that never seem like they're gonna end.
He always says to Jill, like, I knew that because she owns like a clinic for recovering addicts.
Yeah, and that's a pretty bougie fucking job too. Not everyone can have a job like that, Jigsaw.
But he keeps saying like, I should have known that you hanging around these addicts, that something terrible would have happened and I should have prevented it. Like he knows that like these addicts are terrible people who are going to murder their child or something.
Yeah, he thinks like addicts are inherently bad. No, this is like, I'm telling you, this is like the upper class mistakes. Like this is like talking to the people in my building that I work for. It's like talking, oh, you don't understand what life is. Like you don't get what normal life is.
And is that how they all are?
Yeah. I mean, most of them. And but I think like Jigsaw's kind of the same way. Like the problems that he has with people, like you've given your body up to drugs, or you work as a publicist. Like so what? Like so what? If somebody gets a job like doing the social media for Trump or something, that makes them like evil.
You tweet for Fox News now. Yeah. You're in a Fox trap.
Right? Yeah, Fox trap. That's hilarious.
I didn't like these traps. There's another one where like there's a girl that's in a thing and like she has to get like rotated towards these spikes, and he has to like lift something that gets pinned into him or something, and that one sucks. And there's the other one where like his friend is walking across planks and he tosses the key. That one's also boring. I wasn't into any of the planks. Yeah, he's like across this room and he's blindfolded and he has to get from one side to the other while walking across planks, and he like gives him direction.
Yeah, why are we bringing blindfolds
like a challenge
into this? Yeah, it really is. Sounds like a fucking daily challenge.
It's a daily, yeah.
It sounds like something Nelson could never win.
I bet Chauncey and Amber Borzotra would win that one.
Holy shit!
They have good communication. They're both good athletes. She's light on her feet.
Hey, listen, I'm not arguing with anything you're saying, brother. All right, so you're right. The traps are bad. Now let's talk about the cop storyline. That's bad too.
Yeah, it's Todd from Final Destination.
It's a lot of that guy, which I don't even have a problem with that guy. But it's so much Hoffman. Hoffman survived the last movie. Like the cliffhanger at the end of the last movie is
that's kind of cool how he survived, actually. He puts his face through the bars and it doesn't snap open all the way.
It was pretty good, yeah. But it annoyed me because at the end of the 6th movie, it seems like Jigsaw's wife, Jill, kills him, and now she's gonna do Jigsaw traps.
Yes.
And I was like, that's kind of interesting.
Well, that's what Jigsaw tells her. He gives her like the last in Saw 5, I guess, or in Saw 6. We didn't really talk. It was one of the Saw movies. She's given envelopes of all these people. And Hoffman is the 6th envelope. She's supposed to kill Hoffman. That's why he's in the trap. She's supposed to take over. She's supposed to kill Hoffman and like take over for Jigsaw.
But it's like
Hoffman doesn't die.
But it's like the writers and directors and producers and shit like got cold feet or something about making a Woe Man the killer of this franchise, and so they like brought Hoffman. Like, who's clamoring for Hoffman?
I don't know. And I have to say, I was sad when Jill died.
I was too. I was totally sad. It was nice to see the reverse bear trap again because it's still the best thing they ever came up with.
Yeah, totally.
But I mean, it was pretty gruesome, huh?
And that's from the short. Like, that's like the first thing they came up with ever.
I know. Remember, it was your boy
Lee.
Lee. Yeah. Lee Wynell. He was in that reverse bear trap.
What'd you ask me? I think you asked me something right before then.
No, which movie was it where they did the regular bear trap, non-reverse?
The Venus flytrap?
No, just the regular bear trap.
There's one that's called a Venus flytrap.
There's one that's
that just shuts
a bear
on
trap.
their face.
Yeah, like a bear trap.
I think that's
does.
in the second one.
Okay, yeah. All right, tell me more about this film.
Tell me more. Did you get very far? Tell me more. Like, did he have a car? Geez, what else happened? Remember when I talked about how Jeff could have used his like jacket to save himself? Remember Jeff?
I distinctly remember your interest in this jacket. Yes.
How he could have used it to like prevent his face from being frozen on the bars. Well, this guy at one moment, the guy Bobby, who did we even talk about how he like faked a trap and now he's putting it into a trap?
That's my god, that's another huge plot of this movie. Yeah, let's talk about that.
That's not so bad.
I like the idea in theory, but I don't like how they did it. So Sean Patrick Flanery,
but at least he's not just like a guy with a job or a guy who wants to kill himself. He's like a scam guy.
Yeah, he's a con man. He's a fella that Hollywood thought was going to be a thing for a second. And then,
who, this actor?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Sean Patrick Flanery.
Okay.
SPF, baby. And he played Powder in the film Powder. He played young Indiana Jones in the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. And then he was in Boondock Saints. And everyone thought like he was going to be a big deal. And it didn't happen for him. And now here he is in Saw 7. And it was not nice to see him. I've always thought he's a terrible actor. And I must say he is very terrible in this movie.
Yeah, he's not great. I didn't know he was in all that other stuff. But what I was going to say about his...
He's Indiana Jones. Literally, there are two people that played Indiana Jones, him and Harrison Ford.
That's not true.
Oh,
River Phoenix.
You're right. Sorry, River Phoenix.
Damn, I got you.
You did. You fucking nailed it. And hey, Shia, if we want to say that.
Yeah, barely.
Kind of.
But what I was gonna say was how Jeff could have used his jacket to like not get the frozen stuff on his cheek. This guy at the end of the movie, his wife is like getting burned inside that torpedo or whatever was going on.
Yeah, that was wild.
There's like a fence in front of him that like shocks him. Why does he not take off his pants and stuff and put that over the thing and like push the thing down and climb over the fence that is separating them?
He's not willing to do enough to help his family. This guy,
his wife burning alive.
This guy's such a shitheel. Yeah, it's. By the way, this is kind of a smart storyline because this totally would happen. Which
absolutely.
Yeah,
I like that scene where he's in the bar, has long hair, and he's getting the idea of like, oh, I could fake this.
I liked it too. Yeah, he's got
all the flashbacks. Was this the one where we see the backwards cap?
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a minute. He his idea is that he's going to lie to the public that he survived a jigsaw trap, which is pretty amazing. Like, it's a smart idea, and he lies to his wife. She doesn't know, right?
Right. She finds out at the end. But how did he give himself those scars? He had like scars from traps, seemingly.
I think he probably had them already. Like maybe he was in like Iraq or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Caught some shrapnel, came back, said it was a jigsaw trap. It's more like shrapnel.
Well, he did that with Perez. That was shrapnel.
Yeah, it was. And so Jigsaw traps this dude, and he's like, "You're going to do the trap." Like he designs the trap that he claims he was in,
right?
Which is pretty good. And so he gets real fucked up in the movie. I hate Sean Patrick Flanery. It was nice to watch him, gets stabbed in the pectorals and shit.
He could be your LVP.
Oh yeah,
even with the Final Destination.
Yeah, to me, I was focused on Flannery. He was rankling me way more than the Final Destination guy.
Every line the Final Destination guy said,
I think it's just in that.
He might be the MVP also, though.
I think it's just in that one sequence he's bad, though.
No, it's not.
Really?
He has like an opening interrogation scene with Jill. I could play every audio clip this guy has, but I won't do it. It'll be like 20 minutes long.
All right. Yeah, more flashbacks. So what was that flashback, the Jigsaw one?
All right, so Bobby, he wrote a book of like how I survived Jigsaw, and he goes to the book signing and wants to like confront him as being a fraud. That's what the whole thing is. And he gets his autograph, and then's like, I don't even want it, bro.
Is he wearing a backwards baseball cap because
incognito?
He's incognito, or or was it just a way to get Tobin Bell to look younger? Yeah,
I always thought that it's the word is incognito, right? But when I was a kid, when someone would say they're incognito, I thought it was cognito. I thought they were in like cognito, which is like camouflage,
right?
But it's not. It's incognito. That's the word.
Yeah,
I learned that from watching porn and having to go incognito mode.
Is that true?
That's 100% true.
That's hilarious. The things we learn from porn. I've probably learned a few things.
Yeah,
maybe a word here or there. Not like a word I'm happy to have in my vocabulary, but nevertheless. Logan.
Yep.
I mean, what else do you want to talk about in this fucking movie?
Well, he does kill Jill, finally. She
Volume
is dead.
2. Yeah.
And that's a real bummer.
But he dies too, right?
Did we even talk about Gordon?
Who's Gordon?
Dr. Lawrence Gordon?
Oh, of course, yeah. Carrie Elwes turns up alive in this movie, like too close to the end. I read, by the way, that they were trying to get him in like some of the previous ones, and he was like, "Call me back when you do the last one. I'll come back for that."
Okay, that's a good move.
Yeah.
I told you at the end of Saw 1, I was like, do you think Lawrence Gordon might return? Because he sort of crawls off at the end. You're like, no way, he's dead. There's no way he's going to survive that. But little did you know how convoluted this story was going to get.
No, if you asked me that like after watching Saw 4 or something, I would have known he would come back.
If I reminded
alive.
you like he might, you would have been like, oh, he's going to come back.
He's got to.
And I like that scene.
Because anything where there's an open end, like we didn't know 100% for sure that he was dead, so he was definitely alive.
Right. There are a few people like that we might see pop up.
I mean, Perez was kind of like that.
Right.
But I hated that opening. Him cauterizing his wound.
I like that where he's like taking care of him, like watering, giving him water and stuff. I thought that was pretty funny.
No, that was fine. The one though where it's like right after he escapes and he just goes to like a hot boiler,
like a pipe, and he's like, oh yeah,
and he just like puts his leg stub against it to cauterize the wound. Fucking disgusting, bro.
Yeah, it is pretty gross.
Yeah. But it was great to see Elwes again. He's the MVP because, like, even just in a cameo, he's adding the most value to the film because he's the guy. He's from the original. The original is the pure Saw movie, man. That's the one people are going to remember. That's the one that's going to stand the test of time. Like, many years from now, people are going to be watching that Saw movie. Yeah, and there's a bunch of sequels if you want to check those out.
No, I think people like and remember Saw 2. The whole needle thing, that's very memorable.
Come on.
Addison with her hands in the blades.
But it's not going to go down. It's going to go down in history like Halloween 2. Like, that's a goofy movie we watch sometimes when we finish Halloween. But, like, it's not the same thing as John Carpenter's Halloween. Not to fucking compare Saw to Halloween, Jesus.
I also liked how... Or I think that people
the only one who can top John Carpenter, obviously, is David Gordon Green.
Yeah. Well, you already, like, love David Gordon Green. It's not really fair how you view his movies, I don't feel like. Right?
Yes, it is. I've not liked every David Gordon Green movie.
Really? What's his worst movie? You even liked Halloween, the second one.
Yeah, I like his Halloween movies, but like I didn't like Our Brand is Crisis, and I didn't like I don't know, some of his comedies like The Sitter.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever. This movie's just amazing. Like you'll all admit it eventually.
I think people like Saw 2 because Saw 2 they're in a trap, but also there's a guy inside the trap trying to kill people, which is also an interesting layer. I think that's why people like Saw 2. And we'll watch Saw 2
and
again.
it's its own thing. Like Saw 2, because of the way it was made and that it was like a Darren Lynn Bousman script that they like repurposed, it at least had like pure intentions. Like that was like he had a story that he'd thought out and come up with like beginning to end and like threw Saw on top of it.
Right.
So it's its own thing.
Right. I give this 1 star. I think this is the worst one we've seen so far.
I agree.
My MVP, I'm just gonna go with Jill. I don't care.
Oh, it was.
No. It's good to see him though. My LVP is gonna be that guy Gibson, Todd from Final Destination.
Flannery.